In 2007, another star appeared in Hollywood, which everyone predicted incredible future. The actress was compared to Marilyn Monroe and called next Angelina Jolie. The name of actress was Megan Fox. Her paycheck rose from a few thousand to several million. Various magazines put her on the cover and called her the most beautiful actress in nowadays. Now, however, Megan starred in low-budget films that are not shown in cinemas. And if Bruce Willis is starring in such pictures for a couple of days, Megan Fox has to act in them for several weeks. Today, let's remember Megan Fox's fast rise and rapid fall. Megan's career began in the very early noughties. She made appearances in several films. She even ran through the sequel of Bad Boys directed by Michael Bay. For this episode, by the way, the director is often criticized. And if you pay attention to some of the moments of Bay's career, some of which will come up next, it's a little surprising that he's still filming something. And he hasn't been made into a terrible person, like man whose name shall not be called. The nuance is that Megan was only 15 years old at the time of filming in Bad Boys. This circumstance that many people resent. How vile Hollywood allowed a child to star in such a passage, and where did the talented director look? After such a powerful role, Megan's career as an actress began to move upward. In 2004, she appeared in several projects at once. The most successful of them was the comedy Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, starring Lindsay Lohan. The film did not become some big hit at the box office, but with a budget of $15 million was able to collect 30. And it's believed that this film and the role Fox played in it is what got her into her next movie, Transformers. The actress actually had a bit of luck. From 2004 to 2005 she was knocked off at a bunch of auditions where she went hoping to be a star. She was closest to getting into the Amityville Horror, but still lost out to Melissa George in the latter stages of casting. It's quite possible that if Megan had been cast in a horror movie, someone else would have already starred in Transformers. Since Transformers wrote 10 different scripts, pre-production was stretched over a couple years and the actors in the main roles began to look in advance. And here's Megan was lucky that she wasn't signed for anything. Since the movie starred little-known actors, the only one who got for Transformers' impressive check is Shia LaBeouf. The boy was full of bullying and humiliation on the set, so he claims that he insured himself in advance and refused to star for the food. Megan Fox, on the other hand, agreed to star for her name in the credits. Like, in general, then, and many other actors like Tyrese Gibson even claimed that he had to pay producers so that his name was not forgotten to put in the credits. In addition to herself, Megan Fox brought something else in Transformers, at least, about this often right, and officially this information has not denied. The actress asserts that thanks to her, Linkin Park appeared in the film. Fox said she was at a concert of the band, after which she met with the musicians, who already knew that she starred in Transformers and persuaded her to convey producers of their desire to be in the movie, which she did. Transformers, hitting the big screens and have a bombshell effect. The $150 million film takes $709 million at the worldwide box office. Hasbro sold a record number of toys in its history. Plus the film exploded the DVD market with record sales in its first week and took first place overall for the year. Everyone woke up famous after Transformers. Even Tyrese Gibson, who was immediately signed to Death Race and then brought back to Vin Diesel family. LaBeouf's royalties skyrocketed from $500,000 to $5 million. Megan Fox no one forgot, too, and if for the first Transformers she received a friendly pat on the shoulder, then for sequel actress was paid $800,000. We can only guess how much did the various brands, which lined up to her, began pay. With two movies that came out between Transformers, the actress was a bit unlucky. She signed up for them before Transformers hit the big screen. Although the comedy with Simon Pegg, How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, had a positive impact on her career. In those years, Simon Pegg was considered a rising star after the success of Hot Fuss and Run Fat Boy Run, and from his new project, which starred Jeff Bridges and Kirsten Dunst, everyone expected great success. but the film performed poorly at the box office. The second film of the actress called Whore and did not pass in theaters. After the enormous success of the first Transformers, the sequel was ordered to shoot quickly. Because of this, the film's script did not have time to work out. The rush from the top was covered by a strike of screenwriters. And the film was shot on sketches, which a couple of screenwriters had time to issue in 3 weeks. Megan Fox often talks about how she had to suffer on this film. First, Michael Bay was very annoyed by the fact that the actress managed to lose weight. So Fox was prescribed a diet of buns, which was monitored by a specially trained person, and Fox in 3 weeks returned 7 kilograms, the disappearance of which Michael Bay noticed. Megan is most outraged by the scene in which she was thrown on a moped in short shorts. She says that she was filmed with 10 cameras that were constantly going back and forth, and she was told that the main camera hits her face, and everything else will be somewhere in the background and no one really cares. In the final version, however, it turned out that there were no shots from that camera in the film, but from the others, which were mostly rolling around in the back, there are a lot of shots. In general, the actress is often fond of saying that she is not at all what she is portrayed in many movies. She grew up in a religious family, and all those Michael Bay angles always made her nervous. And even though Revenge of the Fallen was shot with poor script, for which the same Michael Bay constantly resented, the movie performed perfectly in theaters. With a budget of $200 million, at the box office sequel takes $836 million. In parallel with Transformers, where Fox had a contract for 3 films, and she could not ask for a large fee, the actress had time to star in the movie Jennifer's Body. And although they managed to shoot it before the second Transformers hit theaters, she got $5 million for her participation. Jennifer's Body, despite its modest budget, was one of the most publicized movies of the year, all because of the people involved in the production. The screenplay for this film was written by author Juno, which in 2007 with $7 million budget, takes $231 million at the worldwide box office. Screenwriter Diablo Cody was immediately assigned an incredible talent and began to be pelted with money. And everyone expected something similar to Juno's success from Jennifer's Body, but it didn't happen. At the box office, the $16 million film took in only $31 million. The director of this film, Karen Kusama, who put Aeon Flux, which failed at the box office, in front of The Body, blamed the studio and the advertising campaign for the failure. According to her, the studio did everything wrong and promoted film as some kind of youth comedy with Megan Fox. When in fact the movie was about something else. If the studio listened to her, then at the box office would have been fine. Megan Fox agrees with such conclusions and believes that Jennifer's Body is the best movie of her career. Following Jennifer's Body failed miserably at the box office was the expensive Jonah Hex. The no-name film, which cost $50 million, reached theaters in 2010 and grossed only $11 million at the box office. It became apparent that, despite Fox's popularity in those years, audiences were in no hurry to go to theaters. But the main blow to Fox's career was dealt by the third Transformers. More precisely, her absence in the third film. Now quite a lot of different information about why Fox pulled out of the movie, although she is in full preparation for filming it. Initially, everything was blamed on director Michael Bay, who did not like the fact that the actress in all interviews called him a tyrant, and even compared him to Hitler. However, the actress herself never said anything about being thrown out by Bay. The director himself also denied it. And when all the fuss about it subsided and Fox was replaced by Rosie Huntington, it turned out that all these statements about fascists on the set and Adolf and at the helm burned the film's producer Steven Spielberg. Bay would later say that after one of these interviews, Steven called him and demanded that the actress had nothing to do with the film Already Tomorrow. In those years you could often hear the statement that Spielberg had nothing to do with it and Bay was just covering up. But in 2013, when Megan Fox's career fell down, Michael called her up for the lead female role in his own production project about Ninja Turtles. And since Bay says he's never held a grudge against Fox over her statements, he had nothing to do with her departure from Transformers. Fox's career has been in trouble since 2010. In large projects she stopped being called and starred in films like Passion Play. However, the popularity of Fox did not go away quickly, so she was still called for cameo roles, such as appearing in The Dictator by Sacha Baron Cohen. A small success would have been the comedy This Is 40, directed by Judd Apatow, who was very popular in those years, but this film failed to live up to expectations. It received low audience ratings, grossed only $88 million at the box office. Here Fox was prepared to leave for the B category, but Michael Bay and the Ninja Turtles delayed the trip. Although the first film was heavily criticized, it did well at the box office. On a budget of $125 million, it grossed $485 million. But the second part was not so lucky. With an increased to $135 million budget, film take only $245 million and franchise was closed. There was no one else to save the actress, and after the Turtles, she went to the movies of obscure category. When the actress makes sluggish attempts to star in something else, this, it turns out, is a James Franco film that gets put away on a far shelf for a full 3 years, and then released immediately on video. These days, some professional decided to make Fox an action star. Who came up with it and for what reason they keep doing it, is still unknown. The actress has appeared in several action movies made for streaming. The audience score for those movies is around 5 out of 10. And that's supposed to hint at something. But Megan was taken in the fourth Expendables, where all the fans of action movies will be able to look at her again in combat painting. One of the actress' last films, Midnight in the Switchgrass, is one of Bruce Willis' best films by audience review. Of course we're talking about final period of his career. Usually these movies have an audience score of 3 or 4 out of 10, and Movie with Megan Fox was rated by 5 out of 10. The good thing is that the actress is doing quite well with her advertising contracts, and they bring money to her. And a couple of years ago, she broke up with the star of Beverly Hills and, as many believe, finally changed for the better and may have time to restart her career after all. Now Fox is glimpsed on the covers of various tabloids again. That's helping her career, too. Whatever the fourth Expendables turns out to be, it will still be a slightly higher caliber movie than the actress' last couple of dollars worth films. Maybe Megan Fox will get lucky again. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the channel.